And it's live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the return of the ROONS and MIZZ Arsenal chat. I'm ROONS.
And I'm Miz.
And last time we spoke with you, we were at a low point, but lows and highs come like a roller coaster ride with Arsenal. So last time we chatted, we had just lost to Everton after losing to Man U, and we were pissed off.
Oh, that was.
But then we had a run where everyone is, I'm getting texts from friends saying, hey, Arsenal's pretty good now, huh? I'm like, what? I've been talking shit for a long time, mostly me, because it hasn't been good enough. Then all of a sudden we're looking like, we're in top 4. We seem like we're pretty firmly placed there. And then, we tried to get a podcast in during that good time to talk about the good times, didn't get to it. And then now we're at a place where we're again looking like we're teetering on the edge of the abyss. Knocked out of the FA Cup to Nottingham Forest, unacceptable. Second time that's happened in the last 5 years. That's a joke.
That's looking like a big mistake after today.
We're out of 2 cups. Out of 3 competitions that we were in, we're out of 2, and we have no chance at the third. So
we're playing that fourth place trophy, the Wenger Trophy.
Yeah, the Wenger Trophy. That's what it should be called. That's great.
At this point, it would be an accomplishment.
Well, here's my thing. Should Arteta's job stand on whether or not he wins that Wenger Trophy? Because if after the window we had in the summer, he's had almost 3 years, full seasons. He got the players he wanted. They spend the most in the league. If he can't get top 4 with this team, does it mean that there's just something that this is just not going to work? What do you think about that?
I think that's fair. I think we might be talking about a different manager in the summer if he doesn't qualify for Champions League with this team at this point. And they need to sign Vlahovic. Is that how you say his name?
Vlahovic.
Yeah. Dusan. If they sign him, I think we have a big chance at actually getting into the top 4. Lately, besides today, the game against Liverpool last week, besides Granit Xhaka getting sent off, actually a great performance by the team. He ruined the game. We were on the offensive in the beginning part of the match. Today, we looked really bright in the first 15 minutes. It looked like they were really going to do some damage today. And that Liverpool team's just still too strong. We missed a few chances early on today. I think the Nottingham performance is a terrible game. They did not play well. But the Man City game I was supposed to be at that match, so it was a little heartbreaking, but that was a really good match. They balled. They made City look average at times. And even after the game, Bernardo Silva was like, they were much better than us.
Against Tottenham the first time and against Man City, they've shown that they can actually show up against big teams. Liverpool has been a disaster, but I think stylistically,
it's hard. They're chaotic. They're hard on everybody.
If you're playing a counter press team, why would you play one defensive midfielder alone by himself in the center? Like they had Sammy Lokonga, he's adjusting to the Premier League as a person who has to get the ball, turn, and play it, which is the hardest thing to do in the midfield in the Premier League. That's the hardest league to do that.
Yeah.
He's getting the ball with his back to the goal. And Liverpool's whole strategy is win the ball in the midfield from a slow midfielder and attack at will. So they're just waiting. They're like, okay, pass it to Lokonga. They're drooling. They're licking their chops. It's going to be. I don't see how we beat Liverpool ever.
We haven't scored on them.
No, we don't even get. We don't get.
We never
box. We can't get. They're playing deep. when we played at Anfield, Matip was playing like starting in our half. Like he was a center back. They were basically playing like all the way up to the
well,
midfield.
we were down a man for most of that match, so I mean they could press forward even more. I mean, what was he doing? What, like, we haven't even discussed it, but like I mean, again, Xhaka ruined the Man City game in that match. He gave away a stupid penalty, which tied the game at 1-1, switched the momentum, and then Gabriel gave up 2 dumb fucking yellow cards, which was, shit happens. He's a great defender overall. Like, you're not usually like going to criticize him too much, but that he shouldn't have done that. And then we lost the game. So Grant Xhaka turned that game. And last week, why are you even challenging there? He has so much work to do if you just try to get goal side at some point. Let the ball come down to him.
Why aren't you? I don't know if he was. I mean, why aren't you goal side anyway?
He was like 3 yards behind him. He was like that's why he
like your only job is to cover when Tierney runs forward. And that he's like pretty much like, don't even pass me the ball because I'm just waiting for Tierney to run forward and then I'm just going to slot in. But he does the same thing where he just kind of moves into space and looks around. And then he's like, oh crap, they put the ball over there. And then he's like, oh crap, what do I do? And he throws a fucking kung fu kick. Even if no one is around, that would have been the most hilarious thing ever because it would have been like the guy wasn't jumping and kicking the ball into the stands for no reason.
And he wasn't even close to the ball. The ball's like very far from where he was even going to land. So just literally, I mean, he should have given a penalty away right there. He's lucky he was on the outside of the box.
Too wild, too unpredictable. Well, he is predictable now for getting red cards, losing us big games against big matches.
Now people are at least talking about it finally. I hope it's enough. Like, this should have been enough for them to probably move him on. They are looking at other midfielders right now. Arthur Melo is like, they're in talks.
Yeah. I remember the name from Barca and Juventus, but I honestly don't know if
apparently I was listening to Talk Sport today, and apparently Messi said that he was like Xavi, but then never really blossomed once he did. So maybe he needs like another go at it somewhere. That's what they were saying.
What we need and have needed is a Xavi, an Iniesta, David Silva type midfielder who is a center mid.
Yeah.
Not an attacking mid, not a false nine, not a forward who doesn't play up top, but a dude who can get the ball from the center back, turn and start the offense. Because right now, the formation, and here's where I have trouble with Arteta in general.
Yeah.
We see glimpses and stuff, but we're playing a system where you have 2 defensive midfielders, one of whom is supposed to start the offense. So basically, and one who just ends up being completely gone. Like,
well, if Xhaka's in, he doesn't participate.
He's like, my job is to.
We're down a man. I don't know how they don't.
And then they have someone like, and what happens is like Lokonga today was getting the ball, and everyone's taking the piss out of him, but he was getting the ball, and he's immediately swarmed on by 3 dudes.
Yeah,
he has before he can even receive the ball. How is he going to look and find somebody? And he's going to turn into El Neni Part 2 or Ceballos Part 2 or Guendouzi. All those players were good. Ceballos played for Real Madrid today, and they won. Guendouzi is playing, and we saw that he had, we all thought that he could be the next thing or something. El Neni, we never liked, but at the same time, he's getting the ball and he's trying to start things and can't. Why do we have a defense?
They're not that type of player. They're not that type of player. He's like playing the wrong positions. And
like they're basically there just to be defensive cover. But we also are asking one of them to have the huge job of starting the offense, and they can't do that. And at one point, do we just have to abandon that formation? And it seems like Arteta is not going to do that.
Yeah. I
'Cause
I wonder what, I mean, I don't think they're, I think what you said earlier, like, should we have a new manager? I think if we don't finish in the top four, I think he still keeps his job unless we're out of, like, I think if he gets us into Europe in general, I think he keeps his job.
Agreed. I think he could probably get eighth and still keep his job because
it's a project. They were like, they
dread.
probably would say like, oh, we got to give him another year with the full team or something. Then next summer he'd be under a lot more. But I do actually, I think that we could I don't think he's, maybe he'll, it's interesting though, because our team, when we play well, plays very well. Like, they can ball and the thing functions like it should. Like Laka's goal that he won goal of the month for the Premier League in December is a great team goal.
Yeah.
So like the system can work. It's whether or not they're going to adapt, because I don't like that, how they're playing out of the back either, like in that way. We need someone else that's a little bit more creative to spark it. We need.
It's a really tough job, but like a Gundogan or
yeah.
Bernardo
And
Silva,
Partey, man, is like not.
He's not that
doing
player.
well.
He's not that.
No.
He's I don't know honestly what happens with the 4-2-3-1 is whoever's in the two defensive midfielder, their job is not really clear because they don't know if they need to be the point guard, getting the ball,
ultra aggressive, yeah.
But regardless or not, they end up being the people who get the ball way more than what that position. Like with our setup, you want Odegaard or Smith Rowe with the ball.
Yeah.
They can't get the ball because they can't get it from the two defensive midfielders.
Would you play one holding?
I always thought.
Who would you put as a holding midfielder? Like what formation would you do?
Like I always thought 4-4-2 with Emile Smith Rowe being the center midfield, who's more offensive, and
with like Partey
being the more defensive one, whose job is just to clean up stuff and get the ball to Emile Smith Rowe, who can then turn and play the wingers and the two people up top, Laka and Abba, which is what I always wanted, but that's not possible. And maybe it's not feasible defensively, but
yeah.
But the way it is right now, those two, look at the players who've played in that defensive role in the past since Vegas last year. Jota, El Neni, Torreira, Guendouzi, Lakanga, Partey. You could say that all of them have been abject failures, but when we got them, they were all good. People talk about Torreira as if he was like a joke. He scored in the North London Derby.
A great goal.
All in that first. And then he just slowly gets to the point where he's like, I don't know what my role is. Then I get the ball and I lose it because I don't know what my role is. Then
I mean, that is kind of like a Wenger form. That is like a Wenger formation a little bit. Like he kind of started that too. And Unai Emery played a variation of it.
I don't know why. And they stick to it. Arteta also seems like the kind of manager who he's like, I have my formation. I don't care who we're playing, what game it is. I don't care if it's the semifinals, finals. We're playing that same formation. And sometimes you're like, this is not going to work. Clearly it's not going to work. And then it doesn't work. And you're like, that's
today they just couldn't find it. Like, that's like, today was one of those days. In that type of situation, they're not like Martinelli was causing all sorts of problems in the beginning of the game.
I know, but it's frustrating because we're hoping that Martinelli can get the ball and dribble three people and hit it upper 90, and then we'll go up 1-0. What's he going to do that 3 times?
No.
At most, you get one goal like that. And, people have been criticizing Aubameyang because he hasn't scored goals. Well, then who else has been? Emile Smith Rowe has the most goals for the team at 9. That's not a lot of goals. He's not supposed to be. I mean, it's good. I love that he's having a great season, and he is. But, we basically everyone turned on Aubameyang and are ready to get rid of him.
Yeah.
It's not like, he's bad. He hasn't been scoring. He used to score. He hasn't, but it's not like someone else took his spot. It's the fact that we cannot give service to our forwards. Or how many times do we cross and no one is even there?
I mean, even that, I don't know why that's our tactic sometimes, because it's like that, like what we have Laka playing up top today. Like, how often is Laka winning headers in the box?
Right. And a lot of the times when Tierney crosses, Laka's at the top of the 18. He's not even going for it. And it's not like look at City when they cross, or Liverpool, like Alexander Arnold whips in a cross. There's 3 people that go for it every time. 3.
They do it from deep, though. I don't know why we try to go all the way down. Like Alexander Arnold crosses from like kind of 20 yards into the other half. Like it's a deep
early cross, which is
to a forward.
Play. It's a good
from the right. It's a good play. It's a great look.
And if like one person misses it, then there's other people coming and crashing behind.
Well, if you can play the ball well, like that's easy enough to do over the top or around. Like he whips it in a lot.
How is it that he's crossing it early to 3 players in front of them? Well, we're getting all the way to the byline and crossing it to no one. That's a problem with our shape, and our shape is the problem with the formation. And I mean, it seems like we have the players. You and I both said that the lineup looked good, but formation is not playing to the strengths of these players.
Yeah, they're good, and they're good on FIFA. That's always like indicative. Like I've been playing FIFA a lot lately, and I can play with them finally online. Like because they can compete as a team. They just like they have the quality in there. Like I think we do need a couple more players though. Well, what's going on with Leno? Is he leaving like right now? I wasn't.
He wasn't playing today, right?
No, there was like Heen on the
Carl
Hein. I mean, Ramsdale's a beast. I mean, we got a quality goalkeeper.
You would like to have at least a player.
Another one.
Yeah, like if Ramsdale gets a red card or something.
Yeah.
And what do? We don't want to put Runnerson in.
He's gone. Isn't he gone?
I think so, but like still, your number 2 has to be
good. Your
number 2 has to be a number 1 that just unluckily never plays.
Yeah.
Because if you can't just throw a goalie in there who's like a real number 2, because they're gonna get netted. They're gonna make a mistake, or something's gonna happen.
For sure.
It just seems like we have 11 good players that we can find, but that's it. And also we assume our best 11 are going to be at their best and play their best and all have a good game. And that's clearly not the case, because Saka is capable of having a nothing game. Emil Smith-Rowe and Odegaard can be completely anonymous. Partey has more bad games than good.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Ben White can have an excellent game, and then he can have a howler. And our forward is like, we don't.
He missed a challenge today on Jota on the line that we almost got scored on from. That was like super lazy defending.
Yeah, he's got it in him ever since Brentford.
Yeah,
and there's been times where he's played really well. The mentality is still very shaky.
But I think positive signs, we've gotten better. I mean, we're right up there right now. Chelsea keeps dropping points too. If Chelsea keeps dropping points, they're kind of struggling.
With all games in hand, I think we can tie or over Chelsea.
Dude, we could if they were to continue on the trajectory that they're on right now, we could finish in third place if Chelsea slip up a little bit. That's like an option point-wise.
How many years in a row has it been where other teams put us prime in a place because it's like if you need other teams to slip up, they will slip up, and then we slip up too on that same week.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's going to be still a tough end. I mean, Tottenham has like 4 games in hand right now,
Oh,
like which is,
before yesterday, they had 5 games in hand on Chelsea. Like, are
I
you
mean, that's
kidding me?
crazy.
5 games in hand? A
That's not
possible
even fit. That's not
15.
even fit. That's not even fair though either. Like physicality wise, at this point, if they played 5 less games, that's not fair. How aren't you like making their fixtures go back to
How did
dude,
how?
the FA does some weird things, man.
I
Like
mean, they're complaining about Arsenal canceling the North London Derby. You have 5 fucking games in hand. Are you kidding me?
that's I'm sure that's why Arsenal was like, we should postpone this. They're like way fresher than us at this point. If we got this moved a little bit, like we'll be able to actually beat them, dude, because they're not that good right now.
No, they had that comeback against Leicester, which was brutal, but they're garbage. They're garbage. Man, U is garbage. Chelsea is slipping up. West Ham is brittle.
Yeah, West Ham. We West
There
Ham.
for
We
the
played West
taking.
Ham. We were just. I thought they were good in that day. Yeah, I talked to Rad after. He was
Yeah.
not happy. I mean, dude, they got smacked around that day. They were.
I imagine they were expecting a result against Arsenal. We're still at the point where a team expects
Yeah,
a result against us, you know?
but
And
that's
I
a
think,
good place. That's a good place to be with this team right now if they're fit, because teams like West Ham that we should beat them until we get to like Everton and we fucking lose to they were so bad at the time too.
they sacked Benitez. Like,
I know.
when we played, the worst part about losing to Man U and Everton was that when we played them, they were at their worst. We
Yeah,
couldn't have played them at a better time. And 6 points would have been really, really nice right now to have 6 more points than we have.
especially because United seems like it's having a mess. Like Ronaldo's mad at Ragnarok. That's going to be an issue, and with them moving forward, that's probably going to like derail them some because
I mean, they're in a worse position than us, I think,
oh
because
yeah,
they've been relying on Ronaldo. He's 36.
yeah.
Well, Cavani is 34 or 35.
And Ronaldo seems frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, he wants a high level, you know. He wants people to act quickly and not fuck up. And that's a team
Yeah,
of scrubs, dude.
yeah. They're not good.
They need more surgery than we do. And
For
that's
sure,
the
because they have dude like Lingard and all these guys that they're trying to get rid of. That like
Martial,
yeah,
Rash.
they just
You don't know really. Will he stay?
Cavani,
Pogba.
yeah, yeah. They all want out. I think there's just that. Yeah, I mean they're similar to Arsenal though, like how it's being run.
Yeah, we should be we should be ahead of them even with all of our bullshit. But I mean,
Yeah.
and transfer wise, we need to get rid of everyone. I think who ever played for under Wenger.
Yes, they all need to go.
Literally,
I
if you played for
now,
Wenger,
like now, like
I'm gonna move
they
on.
yeah.
Like, I mean, Lacazette.
No,
I like them all. You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
I've always liked Albo Laka, but it like he's going to go for free, and Ketty is going to go for free, or what? At the last second, we're going to offer him a new contract, and we're gonna have Nketiah. Like he doesn't know if he's staying or going, so his form is up and down, and I don't know if he's good enough. I think he's not good enough, but he's never been fully committed because he doesn't know what his situation is. But then I think what we would do is like sign him to a 4-year deal, and then he would suck for 4 years. You know what I mean? Like we need to move on from him, all our forwards, basically. We need to get rid of fucking Chambers and Holding and Xhaka and El Neni. And we got rid of Kolasinac, which he just basically lived, he was on 100,000 pounds. So he did that for how many years where he was like, no one wants me. I'm not going to go. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, why would I leave? I'm getting 100 grand a week. Like,
Yeah, this is like some of the most money I'll make until I figure something else out. I mean, that's where they're making money.
yeah. So, and he was a Wenger signing. We got to get rid of everyone from Wenger. As much as I like Alba and Laka,
Yeah,
there's
I mean,
no Wenger. We need to move on.
Alba's gone this month. Like, dude, he like, I think it's as clear as like he came back in the training photos he posted. He was like, I'm healthy. He's wearing just Nike gear, no Arsenal gear. He's in his house. He's not at the Arsenal facility. Like, I think he's just on, like, whoever they're going to tie him up with, either a loan deal probably, and then an option to buy in the summer, and then
Which is what
or a buy.
if he said fuck your mother to Arteta, and because Arteta seems like he's like,
Is that what he said to him?
no, but
Yeah.
there's been a couple people who have said something to Arteta where Arteta's like, you'll never play for me again, which is a problem. You know, it's a fucking problem. This isn't the first person who you've had to essentially cancel their contract over a disciplinary issue. And you also have double the most red cards.
Yeah, he needs to do it. He needs to do it in a Ferguson way, where when he wants someone out like Beckham, he sells them for hella money, or Ronaldo, and he does the business right. Like, you can fall out with the player, but you need to make sure you don't do it to, like, because this is like calamitous. Like, it's more like now it's like he's.
I mean,
you're done.
Doesn't leave, the sooner the better. But yeah, loan with option to buy, because if he hangs around,
hopefully he does this with Granit Xhaka. Maybe he's trying to get rid of Granit Xhaka and he's putting him in compromising positions, and now he's fucking like, because now Xhaka's banned 3 matches, right?
Is he like, is a red card in the cup, like 3 matches in the FA?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it should be a 3-match ban.
Good.
Yeah. That's like, it's all the FA rules. Like, they follow, like, he wasn't allowed to play today. Like, if it was a Premier League game, he wouldn't have been allowed to play. It would count in the same thing. I'm pretty sure it's 3. If it's your second straight red, it should be 6 games.
For Xhaka, it should be a lifetime ban.
Yeah.
You exceed. I'm gonna look it up, how many red cards he's had.
He's had so many red cards. It's unbelievable.
Because, like, he has more than like the second most team.
Yeah.
Granit Xhaka, 11 red cards in his career.
That's so many. That's so many red cards.
Like, 9 goals, 16 assists in his entire career at Arsenal. Let me see.
He has 2 this season. It's January.
That's 4 red cards, but that's not.
No way.
I mean, he has 2 this season.
This season. Yeah. No, he has like 9 red cards at Arsenal or some shit.
Yeah. Anyway. But we need to.
I agree. We need to move on all those players. There's so much more room for growth without any of them. Like,
yeah, and I mean, think about it. Remembering Wenger being on the team seems like, I can't believe that was 2018. That seems like it was like way longer ago.
Yeah.
This is the 5th season away from Wenger. Like, that is ancient history. If you look at like Chelsea 5 years ago, there's probably a single player on the team, you know what I mean? Or like,
totally.
Look at all the other teams. Look at Man City. Look at, there's
You'd have a handful at Man City, only because they buy like a big player that stays there. Yeah.
And they're the best players in the league, like Kevin De Bruyne or something. Or
exactly. And he might not even be there 5 years now at this point.
Yeah, I think next season is Guardiola's last year.
Yeah, wonder what he'll probably do. He's not going to stop coaching. He'll probably take a year off again and go do something.
Said he wanted to coach a
South American
national team. He wants to coach a national team
in South America.
Yeah, that's what he said. Regardless,
he'll miss the fire.
Yeah, I imagine.
Maybe it's just, I mean, he's like a fanatic, so like it's probably a lot for him to be wrapped up in it because it's like all the time.
I don't know how these people have families.
I'm sure that their spouses are not happy. Like they are
in the morning once, at night probably they're already asleep.
Yeah, you might go to
the night that you're home.
Yeah,
and so you kiss their head before they go to bed.
Your date night might be like Monday or something. Like or if you get that, like you'd have to.
I mean, it's not like Guardiola when he's not at practice. He's not.
He's watching film. Oh, he's watching games. He's reading,
thinking about it. Like, could you imagine having a conversation with Guardiola like in his spare time? He's probably like, "Fuck, Bernardo Silva was, he was low. Like, I got to bench his ass."
I think it's probably different for the footballers. Like, they probably do fun shit. They go golfing. I know that but they spend a lot of time at the training facility. Like, I know that a lot of they're there at like 8. They eat breakfast there. They'll work out. They'll train. They'll have lunch. They will do videos and stuff. Sometimes they have dinner. And they go home. They
I was walking by and slide on FIFA. He's like, "Oh, hey guys, I'm making $350 a week. How much are you getting paid?"
Well, and it makes sense though when you break it down, like that's like their day job. They have to go to an office. That their office is just a gym.
Be an awesome job.
Oh my god, it would be amazing. You'd be like, I want to get strong. You'd be like, I want to get stronger. Like you tell the athletic trainer, and they're like, all right.
Yeah. You have like 4 people dedicated to
helping you get stronger. You'd be strong in like different areas in weeks.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the transfer window is nigh closed. I mean, it's for all intents and purposes closed. I think the January transfer window is overrated. Like
it's kind of a bust at this point.
We got Aubameyang and he made a big difference. It's possible to get a new player and have them make a difference, but I mean, who really wants to leave in the middle of the season unless they're in a bad way? Aubameyang was in a bad way at Dortmund. Like if you're with your team, you don't want to leave mid-season. And then you're going to
I think that's why they do it though, right? Just to kind of spice it up. If somebody's like not getting on with the coach, maybe they're not fitting into the team. They got 18 months left on their deal. Now's the time to like really maximize the cost, because summertime the price tag goes down if you only got 12 months.
Yeah.
And then after that, the 6-month one, it's nothing. You might as well sign for free.
Yeah.
Sign for free in the summer. And then they probably give them a bonus. If you sign for free, they must give the player some type of more incentive bonus. Yeah. So, I mean, we at least we're linked with like good players. Like, dude, if we can get that Fiorin Vlahovic, dude, he's like rated. He's rated.
I don't know why like Man City isn't going for him, or maybe other
even right now while we're trying to do it, I'm surprised that no one's swooped in already.
Seriously, I mean, he's big.
Yeah,
wrong.
He's like Holland.
Yeah, or he reminds me of Van Nistelrooy in like his kind of how he finishes.
Moves.
Get the box, drop your shoulder, rip it to the far corner, which that works in the EPL.
Yeah,
but I don't know if he doesn't seem like he wants to come.
I've seen that report, but I've also seen that like he is open to it.
Yeah, he would be good, but
they need to sign someone. They need to sign a striker. We are losing Aubameyang and Nketiah for sure. Nketiah is leaving,
and Laka
And Laka's probably leaving in the summertime.
Given what we've done to Laka,
Yeah, wouldn't you leave?
We cannot sign him for a contract extension and then bench him the way we benched him since he came.
No, it's fucked up. That's why
that's for our own. Like his career has already been kind of ruined the way that they played with him.
Yeah, he kind of got screwed out of the French team too. And he's like obviously he's a great character. Everybody says that he's like the nicest dude, really good.
He'll come on after being unjustly benched and score a goal, and his level doesn't seem to drop. You know what I mean?
No.
He makes mistakes, but the other thing is like, he made a mistake. He could have scored a goal today. Yes. But if you have one chance a game.
Yeah. He hit the crossbar. And the keeper the keeper made a save. The keeper doesn't make the save, he scores. Yeah. That keeper got a hand to it. So I mean, I've always liked him. I always have rated him. But he's
understood why he
scores so much.
Like when we got
against Tottenham, against Chelsea, he always scores against those two teams too.
He was a player that you wanted to score 20 goals a season. That's the kind of player he was. And he's gotten close a few times, always with a low number of games. And then you have players like Ozil, who had a low number of games and low stats. And then you have a player like Xhaka with insane number of games and low stats. And then you have a player who has low stats and high goals, and he doesn't play more. We're supposedly an analytical, they use the Moneyball shit, and we're all about data and all that shit. It's like, you got that shit wrong. You got your equation backwards,
dude. Because in that equation, you don't have Granit Xhaka in the team and you have Lacazette in the team.
Just any person who looks
just pure numbers.
Or anyone who looks at the team and is like, okay, I have to make 11 players. I don't know anyone's situation. Who do you pick? You don't put Xhaka in and Laka out.
Yeah, that totally.
Well, I mean, it seems like we're in a situation where, once again, we need a lot of players and we need a lot of players to leave still after this successful window over the summer.
But that Wenger team that was at the end there was all bad. There was like
15 players that were bad.
Yeah. 15. Yeah. If not, no more, because there was people on the reserves that were not good. I mean, the fact that Pablo Mari left the other day, and we're never gonna notice.
What was that dude all about? I guess he just couldn't.
Big dude, just
he looked like a proper center back, big, long, tall.
Yeah.
I don't know what his problem is. It's like there's certain. Hopefully, the Amazon gives you a glimpse, because like a player like Ainsley, it seems like Arteta is just like, I can't trust this dude's attitude, or I can't trust his mental state, because clearly he came out and would do well, but Arteta was
I can't wait for that documentary. It's gonna be eye-opening.
I hope so. I really do, because there's a lot of things that just make, from an outside perspective, and I know Arteta's probably like, oh, you would do that? Like, oh, that's cute, because when someone comes to the training field and they're crying or something, and you're like, I can't play that guy against Man City tonight, even though you would put him in the team. Something like that, From an outside perspective, there are things that just don't make any sense.
Totally. Yeah, you don't. Some decisions are confusing.
Even like the Saliba thing and what's going to happen with him.
And then there was I saw a report that they wanted him back soon.
Or I saw a report confusing. He might come back because we have no center mids. Partey's got a red card now, so he's out for 3 matches, right?
Just one, second yellow.
Oh, okay. But still, I mean, there's Lokonga. El Neni is still fucking. He's on the bench at
AFCON.
I
know Ghana. Partey landed at noon today.
He should never have played. You know what I mean?
No, that's like you did. You're jet lag.
Europe, and then playing a game that night. Like,
dude, you'd be so tired. You and your legs would be heavy. I don't care what you did to your body.
but Lukonga was out of his depth. You don't put someone like that in the one spot, like by himself with no partner beside him. That's going to be hard.
Yeah. We certainly need another midfielder. That's why the Arthur Mello thing seems that like that might happen even tomorrow or within the next few days. The agent was in London meeting with Edu today. That's like, that one seems far along. Fiorentina seem like they want to make a deal. So
yeah,
I guess his agent is causing issues. That could just be that he might not really want to go to Arsenal. They might have to kill.
But even so, he comes and Laka definitely has
does it. His role changes. Yeah.
Or maybe he comes in for Martinelli. It's still, we're a weirdly balanced team. And I think also it's because I don't really know where Emile Smith Rowe fits, with Odegaard, because he's not a winger.
Hard. It's hard because they're both the same role.
They're both great players.
I have a hard time when I play FIFA with them too, like figuring out where it's hard to play them in the same team. I played him like Emile Smith Rowe next to Lukonga and then Odegaard in front of him. But that's just because the speed in the game matters. But like that is an interesting pair. Like, where do they both play together?
Yeah.
They both need to be center attacking midfielders. If you played they both have to sit in as false nines kind of together. I could see that working, but that's a really you're losing defensive opportunity, defensive help.
Yeah. And our wingers, even Saka, you can't really count on for defense. Pepe's been in AFCON, but
Saka needs if he has a bad game, he has a really bad game. He'll get injured. Luckily him and Smith Rowe seem to heal very quickly.
Yeah.
And some of the faster players we've ever had, Saka goes off with an injury and then he plays the full 90 minutes the next game.
Oh, thank goodness. That is not like a Walcott, dude, who would miss guaranteed 60 games a season. You'd be out.
Yeah.
Some niggle or re-breaking something or.
Dude, but that's the thing. That's the problem with the super fast players. Their muscles are super tight. So when they actually do rip, they get fucked up.
Then you turn into Bellerin where you.
Yeah. He lost all of it, right?
I think we should bring Bellerin back for sure and run him in the false nine.
Dude.
I mean, isn't that
we should play Bellerin? We should play Bellerin, Xhaka, Elneny, Kolasinac, Holding.
Can you believe that last season, literally there's definitely a game where all those players started.
I know it's yeah. You know what's funny is Holding and Chambers. They're bad, but they're not the worst of that we've had. Sometimes those two pull off weird, crazy trickery with the ball. They're actually pretty good with the ball. I mean, it's not they do. And Chambers every now and again will do some shit that you're like, what the fuck? Where did that come from?
And then they'll the ball will drop to them out of everybody off a corner, and they'll fucking just shank it.
Chambers just has that awkward body.
Yeah, they never really clicked. And they're also from the Wenger era. And it's from how far away we are from the Wenger era, to still be around, you have to justify yourself by Lacazette. Okay, yeah, I can see it. Aubameyang, yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Chambers, Holding, Elneny, Xhaka. I didn't want them during Wenger's era.
Well, look at the difference of defense, just the body stature of Gabriel and Ben White and Tomiyasu to Chambers and Holding.
they never put on any muscle or like they never change.
No,
You know,
no.
like no matter
Rob Holding's always looked the same.
yeah, like no matter who you are, when you get to a place 5 years later, you should be different and better.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
be. And both of them are just like same old. They go to work, you know, they do the drills, they
Yeah.
play the game, we lose, they clap it off, and they go home. You know what I mean? It's just like it's that same kind of lack of urgency to be good. It's like you can't just do it. You have to be fucking good at it.
It's kind of crazy that like I don't know. I feel like they're not that great at the game, and they played Arsenal.
And you also think like
not great. Like I don't think they're like that good. There's a lot of players. Sometimes you're like, dude, how are you a pro with that touch?
I know, like
You're there every day. You're there every day. Like
if you had to, and if they had to show up to an open tryout for Nottingham Forest, you would feel like they might not make it.
Right.
Like but they might actually not. They might get into like physical battles with the rest of the guys and they just wouldn't stand out. But
it's just funny. It's just interesting. Like those, don't they play? They play every day at training. It's interesting sometimes when like people don't get better over time. Like inevitably you should. How I don't understand.
Like they're mentally stagnating.
Yeah.
And that's the job of like you get the sense of that at Man City, dude, the players that get benched at Man City, you know, like I feel like
they're not even mad about it though. They come on like and they ball and they score and they do their role.
Know like
they got them use their mind. Yeah, their mindsets are just conditioned differently. You were onto something there because I think, you know, like if you're not progressing training every day the way that like they're going to the gym, you could be like, hey, I need to get bigger here. I need to get a little more technical. Like, dude, you could easily do that within one season, probably, if you're at that level. You should be able to.
Or at least trying, you know? Like the thing with like it was like Ramsey and Ozil and Bellerin and like that era of player who would kind of go through the paces, win or lose, and then they clap off the fans and say like I'm doing my job. I showed up to work today, guys. Thank you. And you could just see in their face like they don't feel like they have any pressure to get better because they're like, I play for Arsenal. I made it, guys. I played for Arsenal.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be a dream of ours, you know, but it's like, okay, you played, but you just fucking lost and you just lost a cup tie and you just got destroyed and you haven't won any real trophies or you're not taken seriously or, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they need to go. Today was like a prime example. Like we just got outplayed. They should have gone harder, played with a lot more intensity. Because last week we had them on the ropes a little bit, even when we were down a man.
Yeah.
And like we have nothing else. We know we're not going to win the league this year. There's just no way.
Like where was it going to come from though? You know, like I feel like we were like the boxer that like throws a punch and like punches him right in the face. And then the guy's like, that didn't hurt.
Yeah.
And you could see Liverpool was like, they can't beat us. They can't.
Yeah.
Like we could basically just be like, go ahead, go and try. And they still probably would fucking the keeper would save it or something, you know?
Yeah, they're still very good. And no matter, even if they're down like two of their best players and whoever else is missing from that fold.
With Mane and Salah, it's a 4-0.
Yeah. For sure. Oh yeah. If not worse, because some of them usually get a brace or something.
I mean, we have a long way to go, but what's our next run of games like?
We have Burnley on Sunday, which
that needs to be a smashing.
Yeah. I think we should win that game, right? That's like a game at 6 a.m. on Sunday. Then we play Wolves on Thursday. We're home with Burnley. That's good. And away at Wolves. And then the week after, or no, the Saturday. There's a break on the weekend because we're not in the FA Cup probably. That's probably what that is. So we play Brentford at home. That could be tough.
We need revenge on that one.
Yeah. Watford away, Leicester at home. Then Villa, Palace, Brighton, Southampton, United, West Ham, Leeds. I mean, there's a lot of
We already
winnable
played
games
Chelsea
today.
twice. We've already played Chelsea twice in the league.
Yeah. No.
We still have Chelsea and Tottenham of the big six, right?
Yeah, they're not on here. Those are moved fixtures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have we played Liverpool twice in the league?
I don't see them on here either. Must have.
We lost
In the
4-0.
table, I mean, we're in sixth place right now, but that's just because Tottenham played one of their games. So Tottenham, they have one game at hand with us. We have 2 games at hand with Man City. But we're 21 points behind Man City with 2 games.
You're telling me there's a chance.
I mean, Man City's 11 points ahead of Liverpool at this point. Dude, Man City might just run away.
I really don't see them losing. They've gone from here till the end of the season before and won every game. And they probably will lose, but like maybe once, like maybe they tie.
They've lost 2 games. They've drawn 2 games and won 18. We've lost 7 games.
Yeah.
Man United's lost 6 games. They're right. They're level on points with us, but we have a game at hand and we've scored more goals.
Just think.
And have one more loss or one more win than them.
If you just take Brentford, Man U, and Everton and turn them into wins, it's a different season.
Yeah, 9 points here, and we'd be level on points with Chelsea.
It's got to happen.
Because then we'd be on 4 losses, and the losses that we would have are against City twice, Chelsea once, and Liverpool once. We've only played Liverpool 1 time.
So we still have to play Liverpool again this season. That's just a game I don't want to watch even because it's stylistically, it doesn't make for even a good game. It's like,
yeah.
But hopefully we do better. We're going to have to because we have
West Ham are starting to fall apart a little bit here. So like they're in
Chelsea
4th right now.
Like we can always beat no matter what.
Yeah. We're in 6th right now, but we were in win our 2 games at hand, and we're at 41 points.
Yeah. Well,
I mean they've gotten better. I think we're favored right now to win. We're favored for bookies to finish in the top 4.
We need to clean up against all these other teams. Like this running game mentioned.
Burnley we have right here. Burnley and Wolves. We need to win both these games. Absolutely.
For sure. The Burnley, Wolves, the Leeds, the Aston Villas, the Leicester even.
Coutinho, I can't believe that Coutinho went to Aston Villa.
They're talking about getting Luis Suarez too. It's like everyone who played with him, he's just calling him up and being like, come over to Aston Villa.
I mean, we'll see if it improves them.
Yeah. I mean, there's other teams who are on the hunt. So you have to get better just to stay at your own at the same. Yeah. That's the thing.
If you're not getting better, you're moving backwards in this because
other people are moving forward, So
and Newcastle's, they have money now, so they're spending money.
In 5 years, Newcastle will be a team that everyone has to deal with.
Oh yeah. Oh no, they are the next Man City. They are going to do the same thing.
Yeah. Joe Willock will be the next Ronaldo.
Joe Willock joined Newcastle at a very opportune time if he takes his opportunity wisely.
He doesn't, I don't know if he scored a single goal this season.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't been starting as much there. Like,
I don't know what I liked him, but
yeah.
there was no place for him at Arsenal. There's this weird thing in soccer now where you have these offensive midfielders who aren't forwards, who aren't wingers, who aren't like kind of point guard, start the play players.
Yeah, like him. Where does he play?
Yeah, but like they're a nightmare for managers because you're like, I only have 11 places and you might score a goal and you might score like 10 goals a season, but there's no consistency of like, how are we going to play with you just kind of being there?
Yeah, no, totally.
So.
And they're kind of like academy kids that like grow up in the club.
Yeah. Like they're just really good. They're too good for the academy.
Yeah.
They can hang with
they give them a professional contract because it's probably not that expensive for them. And then they're like, oh, well, you can like see if you can make it here. And then, then you're a pro, but then they're a pro. Then they're like in the system and then they can like move around.
Yeah. Then if you mess up at one place, then Aston Villa is going to be like, well, we need someone who's played at this level. Oh, you've played at this level,
Yeah.
Like, even though that's a crazy thing. It's like if you're stuck in like the lower leagues, to make a jump up is like so insane, so insanely hard.
Oh yeah, if you're in the Premier League though, and you just moved around clubs and you were like decent enough to be in the Premier League, that's a good life. Like that would be.
Just make a little tour, just eat in the cafeteria.
Yeah, dude. Like players have done it. Like, or Jermaine Defoe's played a bunch of clubs. Like, who else? There's a few of them that have gone like just all around. Peter Crouch has been like through a ton of dressing rooms.
Yeah, I mean
that's probably interesting. You're like, you're like, oh, Burnley. I like Burnley.
Yeah, like I get kitted out in this new fresh uniform.
I always wonder like what they wear at home when they're like chilling, wearing like sweats and stuff. Like what team they like build allegiances to, because sometimes they favor certain ones.
Well, it's got to be like at a certain point you're like, I don't really care about this club. I'm just because you'll pay me. And
some people are like all about them. Like some people that like grow up in the system, I think they're like usually more hooked.
Like Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe are Arsenal.
They love Arsenal.
And now imagine that, just playing from a kid and then just playing Arsenal your whole career. Like that would be like a dream, It'd be just like Christmas time. Like,
dude, that's the difference though of why the European game is so much farther ahead than the US game, and like why we'll never be the same until we implement a type of system that way. They have academies. Those kids, they go to school there. Like,
I mean, why would
play soccer more every day than they go to school? So like
we've siphoned off all the best players to the college system, which like never recruits from the pros, like the pros.
No, if you go to college as a like where you're over here and you go to college, you're probably not going to ever play pro in Europe. That is the if you spend likelihood of that.
If you spend your years 18 to 22 playing in US college soccer, you won't, chances of you going and playing pro in Europe or even pro in the US, you really do well, but then you're starting your first year as a pro when you're 22.
Yeah. It's not.
Mbappe is 22 and he's won the World Cup. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Dude, Cesc Fabregas made his debut at like 16.
Yeah.
Like you're already at 18, you should already be well on your way to making your debut if you're going to be something like special. And I think that's the difference though. We like Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe are both two young players that are like already in the first team that were academy players. We just don't have that here. Like the Sounders Academy here is not the same. Those kids play for the club team but they go to their normal high school and stuff. Like like they're the level that they learn at is so much higher. So
yeah,
it's, we're finally though we have some American players that kind of break through.
no, it's happening, but yeah,
Like Balogun was raised in America, but he can play for England or the US. I think he's choosing England.
really, I didn't know that. And he's at Middlesbrough. Like we've sent some players out. I mean, Balogun, Marie, Kolasinac is gone.
Yeah, Balogun could be dope. He just needs a little bit more like playing time to develop on his own. I think he'll be in our team actually.
I mean, the way he looks when he's on is like that would be tight. He's an old school, drop the shoulder, beat the guy, and rip it in kind of player, and those are always good.
Yeah,
those are good to have.
And he's like cocky. He has like kind of swagger.
Yeah, I want them all to do well. It's tough though.
We'll see what they do in the window. Burnley on Sunday though. I think we should win that game at home.
6 a.m. We have to.
Yeah,
absolutely have to. But we can and should. So, I mean, there'll be a lot more developments, I think, by the end of the window, and then by the end of this year.
Oh yeah, even by next.
Going into summer is going to be another interesting season for Arsenal. A lot of stories.
We'll definitely like keep doing these whenever we can. I mean, I think even by next week we'll have at least one transfer done. They must have something.
Because they just need bodies at this point, so they're gonna.
Yeah, they have to. They're active right now.
Something's gonna get done for sure.
Well, they're moving people out right now too. So, I mean, Mari and Kolasinac gone. Those are good.
Yeah. Adios.
But if Leno goes, we need a goalkeeper.
I saw they were looking at an American goalkeeper.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah. I mean,
American goalkeepers are good.
Yeah. Grew up playing basketball.
Oh, nice.
No. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's come back next week. If you're around, I can do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time.
Adios.